Luis, congratulations. Congratulations, historical day. Once again, here in Mexico and in Latin America. What are you feeling?
Right now, it feels, it just doesn't feel real. I feel like I'm going to wake up in a matter of moments. It's been such a difficult year and such a great battle, but a lot of work, and to try and raise the bar this year has been such a huge challenge. And naturally, I've trained myself this year. I prepare myself mentally. Don't believe in mind coaches and all those kind of things. And so I really, really work hard to make sure I've got the right energy, the right balance in my life. And this year, just working on all these different aspects to enable myself to perform better. I think I had a great year last year. And I was thinking to myself, how can I raise the bar? How can I squeeze some more out of myself? Honestly, you never know what the formula is, and there is no secret formula. But somehow I managed to find that balance and that flow. And I've had some of my best races in my career, and I think that's ultimately why I'm sitting here. But it doesn't even register at the moment, being number 5. It just, just getting my first was amazing, and the third was incredible. And yeah, people were mentioning Fangio, and yeah, so I think right now it's very, very humbling as well, because I'm quite conflicted emotionally right now, because had this tough race of which I wanted to win, got a great start, and then it went from good to bad, but we still finished 4th. It's not a bad finish, and ultimately is what we needed. But in my mind, we still got a team championship to win, and today we lost some points to Ferrari, and I really want to deliver for the team. So still got 2 races to win. I just feel very very content right now. I just feel very happy. I'm looking forward to going to sleep, honestly. But I'm really trying to cherish this moment, because I know I won't. There's only one. This moment will only last for a period of time, and then you're moving on to the next thing. And time is just so precious. This is a precious moment for me, so I'm just trying to absorb it and really cherish it. I still got things to achieve. There's still so many targets, so many things ahead. Now I can tick off. I can strike out one of the things that I put in my list of the year. It's always at the top: win the world title. Do everything for that. I think it's impossible to say that whether or not firstly, I could never ever personally classify myself as the best. Obviously, within myself, I know of my abilities and where I stand. But ultimately, my dad always told me since I was 8 years old, he said, "Do your talking on the track." So I just try to let my results and the things that I do outside of my sport, hopefully, also contribute to that, so people can create hopefully a decent opinion. But there's still Michael's still quite far ahead in race wins, and so you have to say he is still the GOAT. Fangio, I think, is the godfather and always will be, from a driver's perspective. To do what he did in that time where everything was so dangerous. I mean, my respect is so high for him. So I feel very honored to have my name alongside his, that's for sure. And naturally just very proud to have the Hamilton name up there, Like, if I stop today, the Hamilton name will always be there. And if you could see how tough it was for us from the beginning, and even this year, there's still fighting with those obstacles, and still coming stronger and stronger each year. And I feel like I'm still driving with that fierce fire that I had when I was 8 years old, which I love. And so I'll keep going until that goes, which I don't think it's ever going to go, but I'll probably my body clock will run out at some stage. I'm very proud. I don't know if you noticed, but sometimes when I'm on the podium, I look back and I see the Union Jack, and I'm really proud to raise that flag. So, and which I'll continue to do so, and hopefully try to make more and more Brits proud. Yeah, I mean, at the moment, a German has the most titles, but I think I'm quite grateful I'm quite proud of the ones that we have as Brits, and. Yeah, I'm going to continue to try to raise the game. I would say this year, for me, from memory, this feels the proudest for me. This is definitely the proudest moment. because there's been a year where we've not had the fastest car on the majority of the races, and yet we've come away with, more wins than I could have hoped for, more pole positions, and I love driving, and I've really enjoyed driving this year even more. And I think each year, being that I'm getting older, I'm getting to really enjoy more my work, the things I do. I worry about things less. I'm able to let things go quicker and move forwards and grow faster. So I think that just comes with being old, which I'm sure many of you know what that's like. So it's been a long, long journey, and one that I'm really proud of. And it's not been perfect all along the way. There's been many, many pitfalls and many mistakes made, but that's ultimately enabled me to be where I am today. But it is, it's awesome to see young kids. I invited this one young female racing driver from Mexico this weekend, and had her come, which she didn't have tickets to come. And it's crazy for me to see this little sparkle in these young people's eyes, who look at me as I once looked at several of the drivers when I was young, when I had the opportunity to meet Mika, when I had the chance to meet David and Damon Hill and Nigel and all these guys. And I was this kid, I would imagine, with this sparkle. It's like, one day I want to do what you guys do. So it's a very, very humbling experience, and very it's a beautiful privilege to have. And I just want to keep on driving hard and keep encouraging kids.
I was touched by how on track you mentioned your father. I mean, in the emotions of the moment, how much do you think of him? He's clearly watching, and of the struggles the two of you once faced, and how impossible a dream this one seemed.
That's a good question. This has actually been a really difficult weekend, because my grandfather died on Friday morning? Thursday morning. And naturally, when someone passes away, it brings the whole family together, but he was the godfather of the family. And so it just brought, my dad and me were already quite close, but it naturally brought us a little bit closer. And I always remember, and I never will forget, the things that he did in order for me to be here today, for our family to thrive. And I really do aspire to be like him, as a man, as a strong black man, and as a father, and as a human being, for doing what he did with the difficult times and the little that he had. I think that's testament to where we are, and I think all that work that he put in my grandfather would be so proud of him, so proud of us, and grateful that the Hamilton name is there and established and will go down now in history, which is kind of crazy to think. But yeah, I really honestly at the center of who I am, I always remember driving around Ride House. My dad was the only father that would go out on the track, and he would go and stand when I was 8 years old, he would go and stand where the quickest kid was sitting, and at the time was a kid called Nicky Richardson. And as an 8-year-old, I looked up to Nicky. He was so quick, and I was like, I gotta be better than him somehow. And then my dad would go and stand where he was braking, and he would move several meters down and say, "This is where you have to brake." No other father was doing that, And so I'd go around and I'd try and brake at that point, and I'd spin off and crash. And eventually I could do it. And that's been at the core of, I've always been known as a late breaker. Today I didn't utilize that because I didn't need to, but I think that's ultimately helped. Those core moments, those special moments are really what I fight with today, and at the core of who I am.